Across the street from Nicole Vineyard is Mas d'Étain. Acquired in 2006, it covers 30 hectares. Organically farmed, it is planted with Cabernet Sauvignon, red and white Grenache, Mourvèdre and Carignan. This setting enjoys a privileged situation, well protected and nourished by the healthy wind from the northwest. We are now at our estate Château Cré-Ricard, where we produce our Grand Cru Terrasse du Larzac wines. This estate was built in 1960 at the place called Cré-Ricard in the village of Serras. Jean-Claude Mas acquired the estate later in 2010. This is a 28-hectare vineyard located on the fabulous terroir of Terrasse du Larzac, where our vines produce velvety wines with intense flavors. At the foot of Mont Baudil, the geography of the vineyard is unique, with pebbles, slates, and red earth. We make 10,000 cases with our low-yield vineyards, planted with Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Carignan, Chardonnay, and Roussanne. Here we produce our appellation wines Ono Terra, Stécia, Les Hauts de Milésie, as well as IGP vines such as Alexaume and other varietal wines. Let's now leave the Mediterranean climate and head for Domaine Astruc, DA Winery, and the Terramas Astruc Vineyard. This is where we produce our Grand Cru Limoux wines in the foothills of the Pyrenees Mountains. The Pyrenees Mountains are more than a border between Spain and France. Thanks to their sheer latitude and position, the Pyrenees divide two large climatic zones with different vegetation: ocean influence to the west and north, continental and Mediterranean to the south and east. Limoux city lies in the Pyrenees foothills in the Aude county. The river Aude runs through the city and 20 kilometers further through the famous medieval town of Carcassonne, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Terramas Astruc Vineyard is located at 300 meters in altitude, and although close to the Mediterranean, the region's climate is mid-Atlantic, mid-Mediterranean. This gives a perfect climate for the production of Limoux Grand Cru. Chardonnay is the king of the grapes, but we also produce other white and red varietals. Terramas Astruc Vineyard is made out of 50 hectares, 123 acres, with 25 planted on the Limoux appellation and grown according to sustainable viticulture. They are Terravitis certified. Here we produce our Vinus, Terramas Astruc, Domaine Astruc, Pierre-Jacques Astruc, and Valmont wines. Each of these wines comes from specifically designated vineyards across the Languedoc. They are bottled on site, where we have all the latest technologies to preserve the wine's qualities that were produced with the utmost care. At the Domaine Astruc winery, we make 600,000 cases of wine from both our grapes and those of the contracted growers. We work with 70 growers, and our relationship with them is based on long-term trust and the pursuit of excellence, because we're only looking for top-quality grapes. We give them full technical advice throughout the year, from pruning to picking. Our success depends on theirs. This is how, year after year, quality keeps improving and our partnership grows stronger. DA Winery in Malras has an additional cellar in Marseillette, near Carcassonne, which allows us to be closer to our contracted vineyards. Thermal amplitude, the difference of temperatures between night and day, is high on this dried lake, where we have non-grafted plants. This is what allows us to obtain very aromatic white wines. Finding the appropriate balance between the soil, climate, and water resource for each of the 30 grape varieties we produce is one of our main concerns. We have more white grape varieties in Limoux and more reds in the Hérault Valley. The balance between a grape variety and its environment is one of the key determinants to great wines. We age our red wines and some of our Chardonnays in oak barrels and in vats, aiming to create the best complexity while preserving the fruit character. We are committed to eradicating chemicals from our vineyards, which are now being replaced with organic certified products. The future of our wines will depend on how well we protect our environment and our workers. Real sustainable agriculture must put the emphasis on the quality of the soils. It must allow the implementation of an ecosystem that will favor the development of the organic life deep into the soils. The plants can then have better access to the water and nutrients to perfect their immune balance. All our wines are made with one goal: to create a moment of pure and authentic pleasure while enjoying a glass of our wine. This is the promise of our rural luxury.